Racing has had an increase in interest over the last couple of years, but for those who want to get into the hobby, there are so many options. What follows is purely my opinion, but I hope it guides those who are interested in starting and joining the hundreds of thousands of other sim racers who are out there right now. Now, this might come as a surprise for those who know me, but with its subscription fees and its paid cars and paid tracks, the Sims price tag puts it down in number 5. Now, there are people who are watching who will know immediately what I'm talking about, and it's often mockingly called iRenting, as the content is only usable while you are paying the subscription. It is, of course, iRacing. Now, the P4 slot is decided by graphics. I don't insist on having the best graphics in the world, but a sim should have decent enough graphics. And the best sims out there, they all have functional enough graphics. And the sim we're talking about here in the 4th slot, it has made some recent updates and some advances in this area, but it is still plagued with 2D track objects, grass, which is just a flat green plane, and a strange yellowish colour that permeates all the tracks. It can be dialed out with third-party filters, but nevertheless, you guessed it, it's iRacing. Some sims are absolutely fantastic. There's a few niggling issues that can detract from that experience. One such issue is how the sims handle netcode. Now, when a car is travelling at 200 miles an hour, it's travelling at 90 meters a second, and then the pings between drivers can be 1/10 of a second, 3/10 of a second. That means that a driver's position has changed between 10 and 30 meters before the data from their computer gets to your computer. So the sim has to use some sort of prediction software to determine where your cars probably are before it receives that data for real, or crazy things will start happening. And different sims handle this in different ways, and they all have their ups and downs. The sim that gets the bottom rung of the podium here, well, that's reserved for a sim that has some very unusual behaviours in these netcode situations. You have racers just having contacts between them when the cars are meters apart, or cars will be bouncing and flying all over the place as someone's network connectivity comes in and their suspension gets suddenly reset and they bounce off the world like Tigger or something. Well, as you may know, I am talking, of course, about the netcode in iRacing. That gives it a number 3 spot. Now, what do gamers and sim racers have in common? What do they both love? Updates. Everyone loves a good update, whether that's a balance of performance, fixing bugs with tracks, or fixing a tyre warming exploit, introducing a new car, providing quality of life updates, whatever it is. Updates are usually well received. Now, our P2 entry comes with updates, but those updates come with a cost. Downtime. 4 times a year, this service has a major update. At the same time that update is happening, nobody can use the service at all. It could be half a day while those updates take place. You can't even drive against AI during that time. And on top of that, there's often a number of hot fixes right on the back of each update which leave its customers waiting around for a few hours over the course of several weeks after each update has actually happened. Of course, they do provide a testing environment, and you can use that update time to test cars and tracks that you haven't paid for. But I don't think that's sufficient compensation for those downtimes and races that get abandoned because you forgot that update was happening. They do have, of course, as well, fantastic update notes that tell you exactly what has changed and why. And that helps it get bumped into our P2 spot, and that is, of course, iRacing. Well, by process of elimination, you've probably guessed who gets our number one spot, who sits on pole position in the Sim Racing League. With its amazing matchmaking, huge numbers of racers, with thousands of racers online at the same time, humans that are available to review and issue penalties in the case of someone griefing or just having a really bad time of it, bad re-entries or what have you. This sim is the king, the queen, the prince, the princess, the whole royal court. It's iRacing. It's got amazing hourly races, fantastic leagues run by absolutely beautiful people. Okay, so that was a little bit of silliness, I suppose, and sorry for dragging you through all that video, but the simple answer is that overall, iRacing really is the king and the queen, in my opinion. There are plenty of other sims out there, and you should definitely try them. rFactor 2, Assetto Corsa Competizione, and RaceRoom. By the time you've investigated, or you've tried 2 or 3, you should have a good idea of what kind of racing sim is for you, and you can make more informed decisions where to invest your time and your money. And when you have decided that that's iRacing, I'll see you on the track. Take care.